Hello viewers. Welcome back to the Physique Collective YouTube channel, or wherever this ends up, because we apparently haven't decided yet. Special celebration, no, it's not really a celebration, it's a special occasion today. We've got the Conteh boys come down to the Doghouse to see me, and we've got Rye Brambleby, the classic Conteh killer himself. Do you like that? We've got Brad Wymart coming around, so we're going to have some fun. But before we get to that, I've been given a treat, and I'm not sure what's in there. Just like the rest of my supplements, I imagine it will dwindle before my eyes when my wife just uses everything that I get given. What flavour is this?
Tren and Jerry.
Ooh, Tren and Jerry. Vanilla ice cream.
That's yours, cool.
Nice.
Marketing PR.
I bet that bangs. You know, I was just saying to Jazz earlier about the Biscoff one that you did, because it actually, well, it's the first Biscoff whey that I'd had that actually tasted like Biscoff. You know, they don't really get, like, a lot of Biscoff whey is nice, but it's never quite Biscoff, is it?
We said that today. I was like, what flavour did you choose?
Oh, the choline bitartrate in there as well. That's nice.
Is that a new sleep?
Yeah, I'll be giving that a go tonight, man. That looks sick. Bro, you boys have spoilt me properly. God, I feel really bad.
Come all this way, why not?
Oh, these two are bloody excellent as well.
Top you up on that.
Yeah, oh, thank you, because I'm nearly out of the circulatory. Yeah, the panels on these are excellent. You see the little Instagram breakdown I did? It's always funny to go through these panels and think, these, like, I was talking to Rick at Strombat the other day, it's like, you've actually put some serious thought and study into these things, because some of the details are quite intricate. You know, like the lycopene inclusion and whatnot is stuff that I feel like you'd have to do some digging to find out. You know, most people would be fine, but anyway, what I'm saying is, like, when I use that
exactly what Joe said about you
Sunday,
taking all of the supplements.
like the next morning, I feel so like level. Yeah.
Taste test, definitely passes. Flavour? Cocoa. Who would have thought that this would be a great flavour?
That's cherry. Sorry.
Got it wrong.
Cherry.
Cherry.
Cocoa,
I saw.
Cocoa mineral.
Oh, cocoa mineral. There we go. Elite.
So strong.
Yeah, go on, let Dagger out and we'll have some fun with him. Like, just for now, when he comes out, just totally ignore him.
How far away am I taking this hit from? I'm really not getting filled with confidence. Do you know?
Just in case.
I don't know what the E-collar is, but
It's a double block electric collar.
right, okay.
So if I need to get him off of anything,
Put the be
it's
sound.
safer.
Put the E-collar on, be sound. All is good.
By your side. Yeah. I'm gonna send him in to bark and hold. So that means he's gonna run up to you and he's gonna bark.
Yeah.
I'll walk in on his right. I'll pat him, say good boy. He'll be barking at you.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, you bring your arm from here across quickly and hold it there and he'll bite it. Yeah?
So this pointy bit here
Yeah.
needs to be facing like
Yeah.
that.
This angle.
Got you.
Just let go of the sleeve.
And then just let go.
Yeah, and he'll take it off you.
Now this is how you really...
Mate, feel my fucking heart rate. The scariest bit is when he's running up to your mark.
Yeah, you don't know what to do. Joe's so calm about explaining it. Jazz has stood there just like laughing. I was like, I just don't think this is going to go well.
Force. Do a bite from distance. Force.
It's just like, yeah, sure.
boy. You can give him some pulls. You can let him try and pull you. Good boy. Good boy.
Feel the pressure coming through.
Right, I'll say out and then you put your arm by his side.
Yeah.
Out! In-person check-in with Big Brad, X weeks out. Interesting because the way that we've done this prep is, you know, last prep, things didn't go entirely to plan. A lot of that my fault really, pushing Brad to try and get conditioned faster than we should have done for a really specific date. This year, we've auto-regulated everything as according to always what will bring his best look, not just then, but in the future. Essentially just having a real tight eye on fatigue management, from training volume, from the size of the deficit to the frequency of the refeeds, to all of these things with no specific show date in mind. And I always think, knowing what we know about Brad's physiology, like how good he looks off season, but how susceptible he is to like fatigue mediated, like more than anybody I've ever coached. I think like the physique can suffer, and it can suffer fast, and it takes a long time to get it back to popping. And I think that's also why you look so good in your off season. It's like that full freshness, but it can go like that. And then as we saw, it takes ages to get it back. Like, so we're just not letting that happen. So we're looking at the current rig, and condition wise, 6 to 8 weeks out very comfortably. And that's like absolutely peeled. But the way we're going about this still is we're going to start looking at shows, but we are going to keep only making adjustments as according to what the best decision in that moment is. And it's been working. I mean, like, the look is so insane. Like, yeah, when we did start to kind of push you in last prep and the physique suffered, is like, I don't think you're anywhere close to that, but still riding on like, what is it, 4,500 calories, refeeds have been frequent, no formal cardio, steps are at what, 13K? 15K. Like, drug load's been relatively low. We've only just walked in. And like, what's total androgen load now?
With Anavar in now, 1700. Before it was 14.
Yeah, so we've just moved in Anavar, 50 milligram pre-workout. So that's 6 days a week. That seems to have shifted the look. Yeah. Like, I know it always does, yeah. It's that difference between like intra to extracellular fluid, isn't it? Because like you actually look fuller. Like your quads look way fuller, but they're pretty inflamed, aren't they? Yeah. But even like delt roundness.
Delt's chest, like.
It's like how much fuller you are over here, and like even the width of the arms and the brachialis, but then all of this, the quads are so much drier. And what I noticed as well, I know you haven't even hit a pose yet, but when you would just turn around, it's like this. Yeah. Like, yeah, like that. Because that's fluid. You know, that shifted quite a bit. Because that doesn't feel granular like body fat. And this is still running estrogen pretty damn high and whatnot as well, like GHN. Like, if we pulled all of that, I think you'd look real dry. But I love this, like, full look.
Full body, but still getting the same.
Who's this?
He's looking good on you.
My money is on Jazz.
Ready? So, Wes, how you start? Huh?
I've got no clue what it is.
Okay.
You've got the upper hand. You know what you're doing. Fuck him up.
Okay, look at that. You're actually really strong.
Take his back from there, Joe. So grab his lap with your right hand.
I don't know what you're saying.
Grapevine both his legs. Jazz is giving you his back. Stop trying to get him over. Just get it on his back. There you go. Rear naked choke from there, Jazz, and he's gone. There you go. Grapevine. Hold his back, hold his back, hold his back. Hold his back. Now put your right hand on his lap. Pull yourself
See,
up.
this is what. Yo, it's coming in.
Go on, Jazz. Guillotine. Get in guard, Jazz. In guard. Wrap your feet. Wrap your feet. Don't let him pass your guard. Jazz, get him in guard.
How the fuck, what's God?
literally the first lesson with BJ.
Does this count as winning?
No.
Someone's got tapped. No one's tapped yet. I'll just stay here forever then.
Yeah, but then you can't get me and I can't get you.
Guys, shrimp out to the right. You just jump back. On his back.
What do you mean on his
What am I paying for these BJJ lessons for?
What's on his back?
What's on his back?
It's quite tiring.
Right. Okay.
Where is that sock just fell out?
I'm just going to let Jazz tape me because I want to see what happens.
Right.
Calf to the dust.
Okay,
Hips through.
No chance of getting
You're a bit too high, Jazz.
I know. That was hard though, right?
that. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get out of that.
Should we try that again on Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's hard work, isn't it?
I'll practice. I'll watch some YouTube videos. It can't be that hard.
Jazz, grab the gi.
I haven't got the gate. We had it.
Line. Straight line the neck. There you go. Really naked show. Back down. Like that. Yeah! Oh, you're right. You've definitely done BJJ before.
I was like, I'll roll.
Yeah, he's ready for it.
Here we go.
Oh, that was a little Delahiva there, right? How do you know all these moves? Yeah, that's you, Jazz. That's tap. Right, in it.
No, I'm on the wrong way. I don't have to get out of this now.
You've definitely done this before.
I'm gassed out.
Who
That's
wins?
a draw.
When did you do any jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, when did you kept that one fucking quiet?
I don't jiu-jitsu.
You're right.
I know.
He is lying.
Oh,
You did that armbar too
I
quickly.
know I should do an armbar, there's a heel hook, and a triangle, and a triangle.
You're like Kirkham that went go-karting. That's why I've never done go-karting. This is what he does. He starts really slow.
I'm slow. I'm the boa constrictor.
You are.
All right, just pull gas this way.
I'll let you have me. Take my back.
I'm gonna turtle. I'm turtle.
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to do it. Just applying pressure.
Oh, back
If you let me up here, I'm just going to get straight into tie control and put you in a Kimura there.
Yeah.
You can't let me come past you. Yeah?
Okay.
Do you want to tap now?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that hurt my shoulder.
I gave you the option.
How the fuck did you do that?
You need to stop letting me come past you. Or cross collar choke.
I've never seen you do that, but you literally like. That was smart.
How good does that look? So we were just looking through the profiles on this, so thought we'd do a little bit of chatting. So this glutathione complete, you guys can probably guess what the primary, we'll say, objective of this product is, but it's not as simple as just glutathione. As it really is a complete antioxidant supplement, isn't it? Focused on not only modulating glutathione via NAC, which is, we know, most people's primary way of pushing up glutathione is via NAC, but also putting the cetria in there as well, the patented glutathione. I think is, well, it's interesting because on a lot of the studies on NAC, they seem really variable on either who it pushes glutathione up for or how much by. You know, so if you could cover both sides with that, I think that's a pretty smart way to put it all in one. So I would be a fan of that. And the dose is good as well. Again, NAC, it can be tricky to dose appropriately because of some of the things that we were talking about earlier, like the glutamate modulation. Like if you look at NAC's use for OCD patients, for example, they're up north of 3 grams a day. And the reason why OCD sufferers would use it is because of the glutamate modulation capacity. It's going to pull down your necessity to be compulsive, you know, like it flattens you out. The best way I've ever heard NAC described is it highs the lows and lows the highs. So it is a potent antioxidant. It's a brilliant supplement, but one that I think if you push too hard, that you would potentially start to notice some psychological changes that would be undesirable, like anhedonia, lack of motivation, lack of desire to do anything. But that 1 gram metric is spot on. So, yeah. You boys added the selenium in this. What was the reason behind dropping that in there?
The selenium, in all honesty, Joe, I'll be totally honest, I don't formulate the products.
Okay,
That's me being totally 100% honest with you. I've always believed in getting people to do better jobs at things than me.
I'm trying to convince them to let me make a couple of, I'm not going to say what they are, but I've got some like ideas for like complete products, we could say, that like I know I'd love and I know my clients would love. So I'm going to try and convince the boys to let me ping over some like profiles that I'd love to see. And if it happens, you guys will be the first to talk about it. But yeah, would highly recommend that, guys. And another thing is that NAC isn't the easiest thing to source. And there was a Labdoor report on NAC a while ago. I don't know if you ever saw this, where they bought NAC from a lot of the most reputable companies going and then tested for dose and accuracy, basically. And they were so poor. Like the content, a lot of them didn't even have NAC in, let alone the stated milligrams. And I can guarantee this has got a gram of NAC in, because I know I always say this, but I am really sensitive to like shifts in glutamate. And when I take this of an evening, I always wake up like super. It's quite a sharp, significant cognitive shift for me. So I know that that's cranking in there, the NAC. So again, I'm guessing this is an all-round CV lipids all-in-one. Do you know what else is going? I mean, I mentioned it with the NAC, but I'll mention it about this as well. What I don't like, what supplement companies are doing at the minute, is panels that are like that long, and like 2 or 3 of them have clinical efficacy, and the rest are just like
fillers,
stuff that, you know, you could look on the research and there's like one study at some point that showed statistically insignificant benefit. These two, everything in there is what you want to see. I know Matt Strong would absolutely be creaming himself over this. So we actually have posts, and well, I've done posts and Matt's done videos on Physique Collective on all of these regarding CV health and the effects that they have on lipids. Citrus bergamot specifically, we've done ubiquinol, ubiquinone, lycopene, and the methylfolate. We've got all of that on Physique Collective, but the curcumin in there was good to see as well. Something we've been talking a lot about on Physique Collective is not just looking at cardiac health with regards to things that have direct effects on lipids, but also looking at cardiac health through the lens of antioxidant and anti-inflammatory supplementation as well. So I think the curcumin was a really smart thing to drop in there, something that you don't typically see on like a cardiac panel. Like we were just talking about that pycnogenol, like that's a potent antioxidant. I know curcumin is an anti-inflammatory, but that had robust effects on cardiac health. Whereas I think a lot of people just focus in on like what this does to lipids, but it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
So that is smart to drop the curcumin in there as well. I mean, curcumin's one that all of my clients would use always, as long as you can get a good source. Good to see a gram of citrus bergamot in there as well. And I looked at the pricing. So the price of this is cheaper than me buying the citrus bergamot, the curcumin, and the ubiquinol. And you use ubiquinone, which is a bit of a preference. So how the fuck are you doing that? Because, and that's not even with the beta vulgaris or the lycopene or the methylfolate in there. Because I do use all of those. I just Amazon them. But this is cheaper on a serving basis, and that's a little bit more citrus bergamot than I use as well.
Yeah, no, it's funny that question itself of like how are you doing things like that is we've got such a good close relationship now with our manufacturers, especially coming into this 4th year now of business. Like I think a few years ago when it was just a pre-workout and a pump-based business, people just looked at us as we'll be here today, gone tomorrow. But people are looking at us now and saying like, well, how are they doing this? Because they shouldn't really be here. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So now we've got manufacturers that are willing to play the game with us and help grow our business. So it's like, if we can get this at the right price for the end consumer and have it all in one, it's going to be a great product and everyone's going to do well from it. But a big thing again with working closely with our manufacturers is the sourcing, making sure every ingredient is
Quality of the grade with it as well.
Quality of the grade, it's coming where it's coming from, and we're getting it from a reputable source, because you could go to any manufacturer and they could offer you curcumin, but it could be grade D, and
yeah,
one could be
a
grade
lot of
A.
people, like, I would pay premium for like a BCM 95.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the ingredients I use, I always buy the patented form, like the pycnogenol or Afron and things like that, just because the label claims are always so sketchy. So if you can have a company that you trust like that, that's so much cheaper than you shelling out on the patented form, that's so good. So I was talking about on my story the other day about I think I said this earlier actually, about I wanted a pump product to use for jiu-jitsu in the evening, because I'm normally there like 6 till 8:30, so I can't smash myself with caffeine. And I did a story box on Instagram, and the majority of the recommendations were for Mega Pump, and I didn't look at the panel until now. And again, what strikes me is that everything in here efficaciously dosed on a panel where everything actually has a clear, do you know what is interesting? Because I was talking about the Macuna purines in the Conviction. Good to see the pine bark in it. Pycnogenol, you know, a good source of choline in there, L-citrulline, like everything in here. You've got a good cognitive driver and a good pump driver. I do like nitrogenine as well. I don't know if that's like nitrosogene, however you pronounce that. But good to see choline in there as well from a good source. Yeah, the pine bark's pretty surprising to see that in there, but I love to see that in there. Beetroot extract, baby, the big pump. I don't get big pumps these days. Yeah, always. I always like to look at these panels and see someone that knows what they're doing. But that, like when you see the like finer detail ingredient, you're like, that's interesting. So I haven't used this before, the Supreme Sleep. Let's go through the panel again. Choline, excellent to have pre-bed. What I would say though, guys, is like if you're supplementing choline as well, like if you're using alpha GPC or choline bitartrate or whatever, and you're going to use a scoop of that pump, and you're going to use something like this, like be aware that excessive choline, it'd be difficult to do. I'll put a maxim on this soon, but if you notice depression creeping in, that's typically a high choline side effect. But you're likely only going to see that if you're also eating a lot of choline rich foods, like a lot of whole eggs a day and supplementing choline on top. Like from what I've seen, you do have to kind of take the piss, but a lot of supplements have choline in now. Like if you're using all of these and you're supplementing alpha GPC and using a different pre-workout with choline in it or something, and you're eating 6 whole eggs a day, you might have an issue. So pay attention to that. So in any sleep product, we're primarily going to be looking at things that drive up GABA function, or that's what you should be looking for, and that's what we've got in here. Or if you want to get more technical, we'd have like GABA positive allosteric modulators or agonists, and then also NMDA receptor antagonists. So that's going to be excitatory neurotransmission down, inhibitory neurotransmission up, therefore relaxed and ready to go to sleep. So the lemon balm, KSM 66, L-theanine, all very good GABA. I don't want to say GABA agonist because that strikes to be like a benzodiazepine or something like that. The GABA agonists that aren't going to have withdrawal issues or something like that, we know that. And then magnesium, potent NMDA receptor antagonist, something that everybody should be using pre-bed. So again, exactly what you want. Also the 5-HTP in there. We want serotonin up pre-bed ideally. And also 5-HTP is involved in the conversion synthesis L-tryptophan into melatonin. So if you want to crank your melatonin up without using exogenous melatonin or alongside, then that's going to work beautifully. And we've got the CYP3A4 inhibitor in there, bioperine, which is essentially a potentiator. You're going to get more bioavailability out of all of these. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I would add to that. Well, anything else I'd add to that would make it really expensive. Like Relora.
Right, okay.
Maybe Levagen or something like that. But they would be like really specific In fact, that would be like if somebody particularly has anxiety issues pre-bed, or maybe, I tell you what I would add that's cheap, a low dose of agmatine sulfate.
Right, okay.
So that would be another NMDA receptor antagonist alongside the magnesium. I think that's one really underutilized area of the market is NMDA antagonism, and how neuroprotective that is and how good it is for sleep. Agmatine sulfate was typically used in pre-workout formulas back in the day, because it will.
It's a Redcon one's total war, actually.
Yeah, but like, it seems to fade out of fashion, but I buy it and just use 250 milligram a night, and it is one that will shift your mood positively and assist with sleep without you having to dose so much magnesium that you'll shit yourself.
Will it make slims more?
Well, it's so agmatine sulfate has been studied with opiate use preventing tolerance from rising. So there's a bit of a misunderstanding there. It's not going to like make the opiate or maybe stimulant that you use the next day work way better, but let's say you're using a lot of caffeine every day and taking a small dose of agmatine sulfate every night, it's going to inhibit to some degree tolerance forming to that dose over time. You know, so again, it could be in there for that reason as well. But apart from that, the panel's like dead clean, or like melatonin, but you can't put it in, can you? Just ball ache. So yeah, guys, that was my gift pack, and I'm obviously very happy about it. And I'm going to get rinsing all of those products from here. I was talking about the circulatory complete and the glutathione on my story anyway. And also, you guys know how we do it here. This is keeping it 100, as the kids say. If there was something in there that I didn't think was efficaciously dosed or ill-placed or whatever, I would say. Because you know how I like to do things. So, yeah, well, I'm going to stop disturbing Bramblebee's workout, let him put some music on. And get some B-roll for you guys of saying shut that nerd up and get some muscle in the picture. So that's what you're gonna get now.
They ask for advice, I say all the time it's simple, guys. I tell them straight, don't go in their spaces, keep your distance, do not chat with pagans. Don't go in their spaces, keep your distance, do not chat with pagans. Don't go in their spaces, keep your distance, do not chat with pagans.
So guys, that is the day wrapped up. A family day out with the PC and Conteh boys. You've seen me posing my pants, you've seen Ryan getting a wham pump, and you've seen Joe geeking out on subs. Join us for the next episode, and once again, thank you for tuning in. Much love.
Them boy ain't got a clue about tax, man, none of them's making papers.